Good morning in the Philippines and good afternoon or good evening in the United States. And anywhere you are, have a good day. I'm back and today we're going to talk about something I watched on YouTube, and that is Filipinos are being driven away from certain European countries, and this is about 10 of them, 10 countries. Now, this is not probably all inclusive. And also, this is something that I have not verified, but I just wanted to relay this to my subscribers so you can take note of it and be very careful. First thing I'm going to talk about is, if you're an OFW, you have the aspiration to go to a foreign country, understand your rights and obligation. You don't have much right. But if you be careful about the obligations that you have and you pay attention to it, then you'll be able to avoid issues or problems. Well, the first thing is you need to know the difference between a passport and a visa. Very quickly, I'll just explain to you that a passport means it's issued by a country who you belong to. For example, if you're a Filipino, you will carry a Philippine passport. That identifies you as a Philippine citizen. When you enter a country, you are given another country, you're given an authorization to enter that country, and that is called a visa. Okay, so that is the difference between the two. And the next thing is, when you apply and you're given, you were lucky enough to be given an opportunity to work in that country as a, let's say, OFW, pay much attention to your documentation. What documents are you holding for you to enter the country, namely the visa? When does it expire? When are you supposed to renew it? Pay attention, very close attention to it. Does it have an expiration date? What are the things that you need to know for the for the visa to be valid? For example, if your employer fires you, does that terminate your visa? Pay attention to that and make sure you understand that, and ask questions to whoever you're dealing with here in the Philippines. Now, just like the United States, these 10 countries are clamping down on immigration. Some of them, or most of them, say it's because of national security. Some say it's to give opportunity for the local people, local citizens or residents of that country, to have a job, to be employed. Sometimes it is not fair. For example, during the pandemic, a lot of Filipino nurses went overseas and took care of the patients. Some caretakers took care of the elderly for the longest time. But now that they don't need you anymore, they kick you out. And that is what is happening. Now, in the United States, when President Trump are against these immigrants, they're not really talking about the old immigrants, documented or not. They were more focused on the people who took advantage of President Biden's open border policy and came in unvetted. Some of them are criminals or known criminals, and that is what he's trying to get rid of. Now, unfortunately, when they're trying to catch these people, sometimes another person who's, let's say, living in that same household happen to be an undocumented immigrant too, but not necessarily criminal in a sense that they committed a crime. Well, first of all, when you're undocumented, you are a criminal per se. You need to understand that, because for you to be able to enter the country, you have got to be documented. If you are not, even though you are not stealing or killing other people, in that sense you are not a criminal, you're still a criminal because you violated one of the rules of immigration. You have to be independent. I think it's time now for people who are taking advantage of, I think they call them TNT, tago ng tago. That means you will enter a country and then decide not to go back, and neglect sending a letter to the immigration office seeking permission to stay, blah, blah, blah. Instead, They just keep quiet and hide all over the place. Those are also considered criminal in a sense that they violated the immigration law. Now, what's happening is, just like the United States, these countries, and I'm going to name some countries to you, there are 10 countries, according to this video that I saw, who are terminating, or not terminating, but deporting immigrants and not giving them any chance to correct whatever is the mistake. And sometimes, in some cases, the employer fails to renew the contract, and therefore their visa is no longer valid. They're not given an opportunity to talk to the employer and let the employer file an update to their files. In some cases, it's the states or the countries' government offices who delay in the processing of the visa. They're also considered undocumented and they're kicked out. It's not fair, in my opinion, for them to kick you out because of other people's fault. For example, if the government is too slow in processing the papers. To be safe, do not follow that argument. Ahead of time, you have to file the papers for you valid before your visa expires. Okay? And these are the countries involved: Greece, Sweden, UK, Italy, France, Spain, Germany, Netherlands, Denmark, and Norway. Now, that is not to say that there are other countries, but at least these are the 10 countries that was mentioned in that vlog that I saw. I'll try to put a link if I can find it again. I'll put a link down below so that you can watch the full video depending on which of these countries you are staying at. But once again, pay particular attention to your contract, to your visa paperwork, and make sure your passport does not expire. And that's all I can say. If you follow these things, you will be able to avoid being deported. At least try. For example, if you have a 1-year contract with employer A, and maybe 1 or 2 months before it expires, you already talk to your employer about renewing the contract. File the necessary paperwork to be sure it is not expired. Now, there are also, not a topic for this particular video, about 10 Asian countries also who are clamping down, meaning they are now discouraging OFWs from going to their country, and therefore they're being given, in one case, 30 days to get out. 30 days to get out. And in some cases, they're no longer issuing the visas. But that's going to be a separate discussion, another topic. But this time, it's these European countries, and there could be others. But at least this video only mentioned these 10 countries, and do follow up in your particular situation to double check to make sure what the situation is. So, I thought I'm just giving this advanced information to my viewers, to my subscribers, and I will appreciate it if you share this with other people who might be in the same predicament, or in the same state, or the same country, for their own information, so they can be forewarned. Okay? Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll appreciate it if you click like, and if you subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you get notified of new videos. Thanks again. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.